on, Foxy. It's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening and welcome to our monthly edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Geek Speak On Sports. It's May, and if it looks like some of us aren't focused on what's happening right now, this person down there, it's because there's an NBA playoff game going on, and we probably won't have their 100% undivided attention. What's the score, Candaysee? Go ahead. Tell us what the score is.
64-62 Boston.
How y'all losing to Boston and Jason Tatum just tore his Achilles like Monday night?
I mean, Boston just got the lead. They just scored. Like, it's been tied and then up and then down and up and down this whole doggone game. It's got me. It's got me out the loop.
Okay. All right. I mean, you know, it's cool. It's cool. I understand. Ferris, how you doing, man?
You know what? I'm actually pretty good. I can't complain. I am actually pretty damn good.
Well, my head's spinning because there's been a lot happening. Between the NBA, Major League Baseball news that I saw yesterday, which I thought was a no-brainer 7 months ago. The league schedule literally just dropped 35 minutes ago as we're recording. It is currently 8:34, 8:35. The complete NFL schedule is out. We will be going over our individual teams and other dates that we are looking forward to later on in the show. But since someone's focus is not all here right now, let's go ahead and start with the NBA playoffs and just get that out the way. And by playoffs, I mean injuries, because damn, there have been quite a few of them. Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics ruptured his Achilles on Monday night. Steph Curry has either a calf or quad strain that has kept him out the last 3 games. And the Warriors play later. They are down 3-1, and he is not expected to play tonight. So the Warriors might be going bye-bye as well. So has anyone other than Candaysee, because her Knicks are still alive, furious, have you been watching any of the NBA playoffs or at least following the scoreboards?
Playoffs? What are those?
Wow.
What are playoffs?
Don't be like that.
My Hawks are
relaxing at home.
Season.
And you can still follow the playoffs.
I've been following somewhat. I have been following somewhat. I'm actually really surprised that the Warriors are down 3-1. I was honestly expected more out of them this season.
Again, Steph Curry missed the last 2 games.
I know.
So,
and since they got rid of Clay, I mean,
they got Jimmy Butler in the midseason trade, but they still don't have enough offense to step up when Steph is gone.
No, they don't. That's kind of sad. That's kind of sad.
Actually,
yes.
Go ahead.
They have Jimmy Butler. They have, what's that little boy's name? His last name's like Heald or Head or Held. Or
Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
But they want him to. Jimmy Butler's been clowning him in press conferences about his dribbling ability and told him stop dribbling the ball and just shoot.
You know, they have a big brother, little brother relationship.
Trust me, I'm aware. It is quite nice to watch them. Draymond Green is not who you go to for offense.
No.
But what I'm saying is that they actually have not been playing badly. They're pretty okay.
Wow.
Oh man, Barrows. Don't feel too bad about the Bulls, man. I believe they made the playoffs, didn't they? Am I not mistaken in saying that the Bulls did make the playoffs?
That's a no. Stop that.
I thought they did.
They'll be giving people false hope.
I'm sorry. I thought the Bulls. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the Heat. My bad.
Ooh.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Y'all got me missing them. Now look here. You got me
just
missing
because
the
they
whole
both
doggone
wear
game. Joe
red, they are not
Mazzulla
the
is over
same
here
team.
tripping. Okay.
Yeah, it probably is because they both wear red. And the first round is pretty much uneventful anyway. I wish they would go back to best of 5 in the first round because some of these teams stick around longer than they should.
Don't be like that, but you're right. That's what I was thinking too. The first round, I was like, how many times can you blow somebody out? It's time. Next.
Speaking of the first round, in the West, we had 2 upsets because, as I mentioned, the Warriors are playing the T-Wolves in the second part of the doubleheader tonight. The Warriors and the T-Wolves were seeded 6 and 7 in the Western Conference.
Yep.
So for those
Minnesota didn't even think they were going to get a home. They didn't think they were going to have home court advantage.
So for those of you who are trying to do the quick math in your head, that means yes, the 2 and 3 seeds in the West got bounced in the first round. The Warriors beat the 2nd seeded Rockets, and the T-Wolves beat the 3rd seeded Lakers. Now, I'm going to try to be as nice as possible when I say this. For you Lakers/LeBron fans who thought the Lakers was going to win a title or at least get to the Western Conference Finals after trading for Luka Doncic, I hope someone is laughing in your face right now. Because as I have said many a time on this show, for as little as I watch basketball, but I do know one thing. If you can't play defense, if you check out on defense, if you have no effort on defense, you are not winning an NBA title. And Luka Doncic, as skilled as he is offensively, is a defensive liability. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me.
You are not wrong.
Yes, rooting in the Lakers is false hope. That is Luka Doncic is false hope.
The Lakers will never win another championship as long as LeBron is there. That era is done.
Well, this is not a LeBron thing that I'm harping on. It's more so Luka.
Well, I know, but
I mean, that's like what you just said back though. Like, that's like one of those things that you could say because he's 40-something years old. Like, I don't think he's gonna play but one more year.
Honestly, for me, it's not even the fact that he's 40. It's not even the fact that he's 40, because even at 40, there are times where you still can see his dominance.
Mm-hmm.
There are times. My issue with LeBron is it seems like every year he's in the NBA, the effort that he gives diminishes. Because didn't somebody have a clip recently of him flopping and then covering up his face and then kind of doing this to see if the camera was watching him?
Yeah, that was earlier this year.
Yeah, the days of him winning championships is over and done. And again,
Qiana, how you doing this evening?
I am here and unprepared. It's great to see y'all.
Welcome to the house, Qiana. Have a seat on the chair.
You was making a whole lot of noise. I was like, calm down with all of that. Sorry, I done took over and gone off the rails. Back to the topic on hand.
The topic on hand is clowning the Lakers because of Luka Doncic and his lack of defense.
If y'all could have seen these people down here in Dallas, they were protesting outside the stadium. People were making signs, T-shirts. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It's been very entertaining. But I will say that the game where he came down here and they were showing all like when he got drafted and everything. And I felt a little bad for him. I had a little tear in my eye for him for 5 seconds, but don't mind me. Go on and talk shit about the man.
Look, only thing you missed of significance is that I said that Luka is a phenomenal offensive player. He just checks out on defense.
He does. Totally.
Checks out. That requires him to have checked in.
Oh, Lord.
You know, Mac.
What?
Today's been your day, sir. I'm just saying. it.
When have we ever seen him play defense?
Never.
Now don't get me wrong. It's like there's this clip of Michael Jordan talking about Charles Barkley and in the playoffs one year, and I forget how much up the Bulls are, and you can hear Barkley yelling on the sideline, "Who's gonna guard this guy? Who's gonna guard this guy?" And when they get back in the game, there's a switch, and Barkley is on Jordan, and Barkley has never been known as a defensive stopper, and you see him get into this technically correct defensive stance, and then you just see Jordan blow past him and score. He gives the appearance of playing defense, but he didn't really play any defense. He plays about as much Luka plays about as much defense as James Harden does.
Ooh.
Right. I will die on that hill.
Damn. You ain't wrong though, but jeez. You damn sure ain't wrong.
Lord, time of death. 7:43 p.m. Central Time. 8:40. Woo! Good point. I don't disagree. I wasn't ready.
Elsewhere in the playoffs, the Indiana Pacers upset the top-seeded Cavaliers in the East. So they're awaiting the winner of the series that Candaysee is currently watching, with Boston now currently up 4 points on the Knicks, who are trying to close this out and should. The Nuggets are down 3-2 to the Thunder, who finally woke up and realized they are the top seed in the West, trying not to be like the Cavaliers and going home early. So any prediction of who's left as far as a finals appearance for everybody here before we switch gears?
Ooh.
I would like to see Golden State come back, and I would like to see OKC. Yeah, because I like finals. I like the Shai Gilgeous, that boy. I like him.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, yes.
Alexander. But I also feel like if the Knicks get to the finals, I don't want to play them though. I don't want them to play anybody. I just want them to make it to the finals and be the winners. I don't want to.
But they have
make it to the finals. They're the winners.
But they have to play somebody, Candaysee, and I'm going to be the one to say for the finals, Candaysee is probably going to love and hate me for saying this. Minnesota, New York.
Oh.
You know, I actually don't mind that.
Minnesota, New York.
We got to get past Indiana, who is like,
bugaboo.
Indiana to this Knicks team is like the Bulls to the Knicks of old. And then it kind of brings back PTSD of when Reggie Miller was there around that time. So we don't want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. And you know, he's calling this game today. So,
no.
Yeah, he's been calling the Boston. He was calling the Boston games, and he was good because he had to get a little talking to, because the last time that he called the Knicks game, the Knicks fans went for his throat, and he was banned from calling Knicks games because he was talking ish.
Wait, I know he got banned from calling the games.
Okay,
well, last year he didn't call any Knicks games because the year before he got a little beside himself.
But what did he say anything that was wrong?
That part.
Did he say anything that was wrong?
So it's not that he said anything that was wrong. What he did, he had his little snide remarks in between. So it wasn't about the commentating. He's a commentator, but he had like little snickers in there, little like, you know, same old Knicks. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like he was like He was biased.
But can they say?
But was he wrong?
If I'm the commentator on an NFL game and the Saints happen to be one of
Here
the
we
games,
go.
one
Here
of the teams,
we go.
you think I'm not going to take 2 shots at the Saints? Let's just be real about this.
But that's the reason why they would never allow you to be the commentator on national TV. Now you can be the commentator on the local, football radio station or TV, but you can't be on national taking shots at the teams now. You can't.
I think you should. I think you should.
Before,
hold on.
Because let me tell you, I already told y'all, and you know this, and it is on the record of the fact of how much I dislike Reggie Miller, and that I would trip him myself and walk over him like somebody else has done before, and I would not help him up. And I hope that he breaks his knee if he falls on the ground.
Ooh, my name is Mary Jenkins, and my address is 227. You ain't gonna have me for it, and no lawsuit.
And I'm just letting you know. Had that whole
Daisy. You bitter about Reggie Miller. I want you to understand that for the past 30 years, roughly, I've had Troy Aikman, Daryl Johnston, and for like the last 9 to 10 years, Jason Witten, all former Cowboys, calling Eagles games at 4 p.m. or in prime time. And look,
they were not biased though.
Yes, they were. Troy Aikman is still biased. I want you to watch Monday Night Football when Green Bay and Philly play this year and listen to Troy Aikman's bias against Philadelphia.
First of all, wait, are we in the NFL schedules yet? Because if not, I'm not going to say.
No, that's the end of the show. We're saving that for the end of the show.
Just kidding. Not there yet. I'll keep it to myself.
No, she doesn't. She does not care about Reggie Miller at all, Barrels. Not at all.
If she were riding down the street and Reggie Miller were on fire, she'd just look out the window and keep going. She wouldn't even stop.
She would run Reggie Miller over.
I would not run him over.
Lies, you tell.
And I would call 911, but I would keep going.
Wow, wait, you would actually call 911?
How far past him would you get before you called 911?
Because, I would have to make sure that it was him, right? So I would have to get close past, and then the Jesus in me and the Holy Spirit in me would catch me about
the Jesus in you. Is this the same Jesus in you that would trip the man to make him fall? And
that's what I'm saying. So I would be convicted to repent the trip and make him fall. But if he was on fire, the Holy Spirit in me would stop me and say, "Don't do
it." No, stop.
Flag on the flag.
You're not supposed to confess your Google search. Shut up. We don't want to be in the documentary.
Flag on the play.
I'm just letting you know. I would call, but it would be, I would be conflicted because I'd be like, oh, look at Reggie Miller. He's on fire. Oh, he's on fire. And then I would be like, shoot. So then, the Holy Spirit would be like, Candaysee, you can't do that. You're supposed to help the least of these. And so then I'm going to have to pick up my phone, be like, hello, 911. There is somebody on fire at exit 102 off of 85, which is by Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Please come get him. Thank you.
Again, flag on the play. Can they say sergeant? Personal foul. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
They call it murder.
Y'all got me not looking at this game, and now the Knicks are down 10. I can't talk to y'all. Stop talking to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so while Candaysee checks out because her Knicks about to blow this game and have game 6 in the Garden. Look, just win game 6. You're still going to the East Finals.
It's just the third quarter. They got plenty of time to catch up.
That's what they had said the first 2 games about. The Knicks were down 20 the first 2 games.
Yeah, they were.
And they're like, oh, it's okay. It's only the third. And then here comes the Knicks and beats them. So Boston could very well. They're at home. But anyway, let's not talk about NBA anymore and how
no, there is one more NBA story we have to talk about, and that is that somehow the Dallas Mavericks won the NBA lottery for the first overall pick. despite having a 1.8% chance to get it. The highest odds of winning the lottery's first pick were the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards, both with 14% chances. And somehow the Mavericks got it, which means
Fixed.
it is all but certainly guaranteed that Cooper Flagg, the number one prospect coming out of college via Duke University, is going to be a Dallas Maverick.
Now, James, you know I'm only a casual fan. How's this kid look? Is he legit? Is he a legit number one?
So let's rewind back to last summer when Team USA men's basketball was practicing, gearing up for the Olympics, right? I don't know if you all remember this, but take you back a little bit and tell you the headlines that came out of Team USA practice. It wasn't about the camaraderie or the collection of players and the vibe of the team and the chemistry of who was there and the debate over who should have been there and wasn't invited. The number one headline coming out of those practices was high school senior at the time, Cooper Flagg.
Yep. Why wasn't he number one?
The select team to scrimmage against Team USA.
Nice.
Yeah. He was the number one story coming out of that. Not LeBron, not Steph, not KD, or anything going on with them. Cooper Flagg. Because I'm like, all right, collection of superstars got together. Let's see the first reports on practice, because they said practice was this day. Yeah. I waited 24 hours. I went on all the news sites. I looked up headlines, and Cooper Flagg wows at Team USA practice. Who the hell is Cooper Flagg? So, yeah, Cooper Flagg is that damn good. Now,
okay.
Thankfully.
I mean, I watched men's basketball this season, and he didn't really I wasn't like, oh, he's like so amazing. Like,
for a college freshman this past season, yeah.
I mean, I saw a whole bunch of other guys play that were
better,
just as good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't one of those like, oh my gosh, this guy is just above the rest. Like, there are other teams that have Cooper Flaggs on their team. So I just kind of was like, I feel like, not that he's overrated, because we don't want to give him that title, because then he might go off on people like Tyrese Halliburton is doing right now. But all I'm saying is, I just don't think that he was like super amazing. Like, I feel like the media gave him the hype.
That is fair, and I'm not going to dismiss that. I will, however, remind you that he is 6'8", athletic for his pigmentation, which we often clown for them being stiff and rigid. He also went to one of the blue blood programs in Duke University and got them to the Final Four. So, as a freshman, yeah, to say that there is a little hype on him, yes, but he has pretty much been the talk of college basketball since that Team USA practice, because I don't think at the time of Team USA practice, I don't think he had committed to Duke at that point. I think it was pretty much after that first week of practice that he formally committed to Duke University. So,
okay.
Yeah. Not dismissing everything you said, 100% valid. Yes. Watching him, he doesn't look like much or whatever, but in a day and age in which the best high school players are, 50% chance they skip college to either go overseas or into developmental programs so they can hone their skills and then into the NBA draft. Because again, you have to be 1 year removed. If you're looking at college prospects, then yeah, for what was, quote, left over, if you will, because there's no foreign prospect getting any hype right now. All right, that's the NBA stuff.
Okay, so hold on one quick second. So I've got some of his highlights over here playing that I'm looking at. I'm sorry, if this is a legit number one, this class must not be all that good. And again,
that's what I was saying.
And again, y'all know I always preface anything about college sports. I am a casual college sports fan. So, and again, this highlight reel is clearly tailored to show his best. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's garbage, but what I'm looking at doesn't look like it's anything more than a good. Yeah, I'm not seeing number one. I'm not seeing it.
He will be number one.
That to me, that says a lot about the rest of this year's draft class. Again, casual college sports fan.
Exactly. And even casually, name any other name in college men's college basketball that received any attention that you can think of off the top of your head.
No one. They just focused on this dude.
And there you go.
And it was like everybody else didn't matter. But if you watch college ball, I mean, it's just I guess I feel like that type of talent is already like, it's almost like that type of talent should be at Duke, quote unquote. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Duke has like that reputation to have like really great players. So like for him to go to Duke and they're like, oh, he's so amazing. I'm like,
Like,
I mean, look, this is probably the first time ever that I've said anything nice about a player at Duke.
You didn't have anything nice to say about Grant?
I hated Grant Hill.
Wow.
What?
Okay.
When he was at Duke, when Grant Hill was at Duke, I hated Grant Hill.
Okay.
I like Grant Hill when he left Duke.
Okay.
So I'll say this. Of these highlights that I'm seeing right now, I am definitely seeing an athletic big man. Or no, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that, because nobody in the NBA is big anymore. I am seeing an athletic tall player.
Yes. And think about the way the NBA is played today, especially needing a stretch four, which is pretty much what he's going to play.
Is he not tall enough to be a five?
He ain't playing the five.
Okay.
Because even the fives have to go down low from time to time just to change things up a bit. He will get destroyed in the post.
Okay.
Trust me, he ain't that big.
Okay. Yeah, like again, looking at this, he looks thin, but he is tall, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing a legit number one. But again, these are just highlights.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him play a whole game, so I'm not gonna. Oh well. Anyway, next.
Yeah. Moving on.
Wait. I'm so sorry. Real quick, I just want to know what y'all think about these NBC and Amazon NBA broadcast teams. Have y'all seen? You want me to read it off?
I heard that Michael Jordan was going to be a special guest for
a special
NBC.
Contributor.
Yeah.
So NBC, Michael Jordan as the special contributor, Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, Reggie Miller, Noah Evil, Mike Tirico, and then Amazon Prime is Dwayne Wade, Dirk, Steve Nash, Udonis Haslam, Candace Parker, and Blake Griffin. This is very interesting to me. On top of, what do I call, the four over there that was on TNT, and where are they now? ESPN?
They're gonna be with ESPN, yes.
ESPN. This is very interesting to me.
It is. I'm actually digging the studio team for Amazon because
I am as well.
If you've never seen Candace Parker go at D Wade and Shaq,
right,
NBA TV,
right,
and you are in for a treat because she yeah.
I hate. I don't.
It's like I fell in love with Candace Parker all over again.
I know he's about to go get in that lady DMs. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not jumping to her DMs.
I mean, I might, but you know.
Yeah, he definitely will.
Saying.
He definitely will.
I'm not mad. Shoot your shot, man.
I mean, when you watch her like going after them, it's like this is gonna sound real bad, and I don't mean it the way that it's gonna sound, but it gets my point across. It almost feels like I'm just sitting around with all the guys shooting the shit talking about basketball.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. That's exactly the yeah, no, she is
real. Like you just hit the oh my God.
Oh no, she is legit. Like she knows her shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love it when she goes, because the thing is, I think D-Wade learned early, and you can go on like social media and find clips. D-Wade learned early that if Candace says something and drops a stat off top of her head, it's a good 99% chance she's right in what she's saying. The 2 times that you can see him challenge her, he's like, all right, she's right, my bad, I was wrong. Yeah. Shaq, however, has never learned and will never learn his lesson. Excuse me. He is constantly challenging her and constantly looking like a fool.
I think some of that is for show, to be honest.
Probably.
Some of it.
He does that on purpose to be that.
Because
to be that person.
He's that guy.
He's been over there with the guys at TNT for so long. He knows how to feed the rest of his hosts.
Mm-hmm. His contributors.
He knows exactly what needs to be done.
But the funny one is of them going back and forth. They were talking about the team's 3-point percentage one night, and Candace dropped some science as far as like trends or whatever, and Shaq was talking like he was a 3-point expert.
Oh, I remember.
Talk about I would never go 0 for 10 from 3 or something crazy like that, whatever. Yeah. And you know they got a basketball, they got a half court in the studio, right? Yeah. So Candace is like, yo, there's a ball on the court right there. Why don't you show us? Yeah. He was like, what? Right now? It's like, yeah, right now. Show us, prove that you can make at least 2 out of 10. Because that's what he said, that at worst, I'm going to go 2 for 10 from 3. Yeah, Shaq proceeded to miss all 10 3-point shots. Yeah. Badly. Some went over the backboard.
Even in his prime, Shaq was not a 3-point threat.
No, was not.
Shaq made, I think they dropped the stat because they keep mentioning it every now and then on the Turner broadcast. I think Shaq legit made 1 3-pointer his entire career.
Damn.
And it wasn't a stand behind the arc, shoot a 3 type thing. It was one of those half-court heaves that happened to go in.
And how many teams did Shaq play with?
A lot.
I forget.
5. Magic, Lakers, Cavs,
Phoenix,
Boston.
Didn't he play with the Suns? Or you already said Phoenix?
And the Suns, yeah, the Suns. I skipped the Suns. My bad.
Damn.
Yeah, those are the 5 teams.
His 3-point shooting percentage his entire career is 4.5%. He made 1 out of 22 attempts.
See, told you 1. Yes.
1 out of 22.
His entire career, he only made 1. All right, let's stop clowning on Shaq and the rest of the men's game and WNBA. We're still in preseason, but there was a draft. Paige Beckers out of UConn was the number 1 pick to Dallas. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of player shuffling. If you are a fan of the Connecticut Sun, you probably need a hug because your best 3 players from last season are all on different teams now.
Wow. Breaking news. Damn.
Johnny Carrington, Bonner, and oh gosh, I'm blanking on the third name. Carrington, Bonner, and Thomas, Alyssa Thomas, are all on different teams. They are not with the Sun this year. They were either traded or left via free agency. Brittany Griner is now a member of the Atlanta Dream, which I should have bought tickets the moment I heard that, because season tickets for the Dream are non-existent at this point.
Yep. They are sold out. I got on the waiting list for next season, and I'm gonna.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
You might know somebody.
What'd you say, Candaysee?
Really? You got to hook up with
You
some
might
Dream
know
tickets?
somebody.
Oh, look at that!
Really?
You know,
okay.
I'm. See, this is one of those times where I'm glad I've lived the life that I have lived. My what I want to call it. We'll just say my savings account overrunning. My social savings account, is that what we want to call it? I'll holler at you later, Candaysee.
Oh gosh.
Matt,
I will
you
say
will be
that
the first. You're the first person on my list if I can make a couple of things happen. You know I got you. You've saved me over the years.
Oh my God, this is such a sweet color purple moment. But I have a question. So season tickets are gone.
Yeah.
Individual tickets, just curious what the individual tickets looking like.
Well, don't look for Indiana. Don't look for Indiana Fever because them gone too.
I think that's a wrap for anybody playing them. You can't
I'm gonna hold my breath for the Aces.
Okay.
And Liberty, Liberty is sold out too.
Liberty is gone because they're the defending champions. I'm pretty sure the only games that I can get tickets to individually would be my Washington Mystics.
Well, at Dallas Wings, the season tickets are sold because of Paige.
Mm-hmm.
But individual tickets, I was like, oh no, I don't want to do no OnlyFans, not to go to no basketball game. Light skin with freckles gonna go to something else.
That's how I just felt trying to buy some Bills tickets. The Bills play the Falcons here, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
We don't have to do a show on this outrageous foolery of these ticket prices, and we can find stories on what people really. We sit here joking. I want to find out what people be willing to do. Get some of these tickets.
We now for that we may have to have an OnlyFans.
Oh gosh.
Oh Lord.
Set it up, Mac. Set it up.
I mean, I could cook on OnlyFans because that's all I'm going to do.
So I'm looking at the Atlanta Dream Ticketmaster site. There are still some single tickets available. I'm looking at their game against the Indiana Fever.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize the good seats are damn near $600.
Yes, because of Caitlin.
What he said? U.S. dollars or rubles?
And it's in the arena, so
Yeah, because right now I'm looking at section 119.
Yeah, because they're going to play in State Farm Arena.
$595.
Indiana comes here. They will move that.
Yeah.
And with how much of taxes? A good $50 to $75. Man, we can go to another country and go to a sports bar and watch these damn games for that amount of money. But hey, I support the league. I'm just happy that they're continuing to have success.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So many people talk so much shit last year. It's gonna bomb. It's gonna fail. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. Yeah, shut up. So hey, listen, I'm all for it.
I've never had the good seats at a Dream game. I always end up getting the cheap seats, and that's just because whenever I go looking for the good seats, they're either way out of my price range or they're sold out.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully I'll get to the Mystics. That's probably going to be my only my top chance to see them this year, because I'm pretty sure Aces is going to have jacked up prices as well. But yeah, there was a lot of player movement so far in preseason. I will say that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese look much better than they did last season. The Aces are still trying to figure things out because they had a major player move. Kelsey Plum is now with the Sparks via 3-team trade.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you're curious about a particular team you like to follow in the WNBA, I highly suggest you go check out their roster because odds are the players who were there last year ain't there this year.
I can't wait to see the Valkyries.
For you Mercury fans.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, this is year 1 of the Valkyrie.
Oh my God, I'm excited. I just love that mascot. I love that name.
So, and again, for you Mercury fans, you probably need a hug too because Diana Taurasi retired. Ooh. And as I mentioned at the top of the segment, Brittany Griner now plays for the Dream.
Ooh. Bad times. Not good.
So.
Oh, goodness. It's not many left for that game.
Yeah, nah.
For the Valkyries, there are not many tickets left.
Oh.
Like there's legit one section that has 2 tickets left in it.
Oh my gosh. Pass. Well, I'll guess I'll have the best tickets for the entire season right here on my couch.
I'm just
There's
saying.
One section that has standing room only.
Literally.
Standing room only? Nah, I'd rather chill on couch by couch. And
I mean, again, don't get me wrong. There are other tickets available. Like there's one section that has 20 left. So I don't mean to make it sound like it's only like 3 or 4 everywhere, but it's just seeing that it's only 2 tickets left. I was like, dang. I'm glad they have that problem of only 2 tickets left in that section.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. So before we delve into football and all shenanigans, did anyone do the homework?
I told you I was coming unprepared.
I know you always come unprepared.
I know, but I show up when I do, and I show up great. I'll go last. What was the homework?
The homework is the same as it is every month. It doesn't change.
You think that means anything?
I know it means absolutely nothing to you. And look, you don't have to step up and fill in that role for our former colleague who is no longer with us.
I mean, I'm not trying to on purpose. Just a matter of circumstance. My apologies. I'm gonna do better.
I've got as far as the homework goes, the one thing that I thought was kind of interesting that I saw was the fact that Belichick's girlfriend has been banned from player facilities.
Can we talk about this for a minute?
I mean, do we have to?
I haven't been on in a while, and this is I'm not a fan of his in the sense of him as a person or whatever, but I never really seen this man do no interviews or anything. Mm-hmm. You know, is this how you gonna go out to glory? Yes. Is this gonna be?
Yes.
This is it. This is it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I have said this time and time again, and this is something else I will die on this hill over. Without Tom Brady, he is an average coach. When you look at his record with Brady and his record without Brady, the difference is staggering. And at this point, he needs to just go retire and enjoy his money.
I totally and completely agree. I mean, we're not gonna get sued. I'm not trying to give no medical diagnosis. Is this man? Is it dementia, Alzheimer's? He looks lost? Did y'all see that interview on 60 Minutes?
Oh,
who told you to put that shirt with them bullet holes on? What is going on?
So they pulled him from practice for that interview, and if you know him, that's how he runs practice. Yep. He has all that is his uniform, if you will, for running practice.
Yeah.
So the ratted sweatshirt cut off at the sleeves or whatever, hood or not, it is what he's worn ever since he took over at the Patriots.
I'll give him that. You know, my bad on that, but the face, you look completely gone and just lost. And I'm like, God, did he give this girl power of attorney? Does he have any adult children? Because somebody jump in and
Yes, he
perhaps
does have adult children. He has adult children.
He does. Okay.
And they are older than her.
Yeah.
Everybody is older than her. Shit.
Yeah.
It's just sad. I'm just saying. It's just
to be fair. I don't necessarily think I don't think his being lost has anything to do with his health. I think his being lost is honestly without a star-studded role on a football program. I think that's why he's lost, because the man's life is football, and he does not have it the way that he used to. He's used to being at the top and calling the shots, and that's not his current status nor position. And in that regard, yes, he does look lost. But like I said, I do not think it's health related.
My only hope is that it doesn't get to the point as it did with James Amos.
Oh,
I hope we don't get to that situation with Bill, to where she has him pretty much cut off from his entire family and controlling that much of his life. Because with James Amos, for anyone not familiar, he played James Evans on Good Times, and the young lady that he was entangled with, if you will, had him in the Bahamas or something, or Jamaica. Didn't let him come back in the country, didn't allow his grown adult children to speak to him, and no one knew he had passed away for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. That is just terrifying and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And so it was, because even when his passing was finally announced, that young lady, I use that term loosely, and whoever her comrades were or are, were still fighting with his adult children as far as getting his body back stateside so they could have a proper service for him.
Yeah, I remember that shit was ridiculous.
Right. So
That's why I'm gonna just get a suite at the nursing home with my homegirls, and we all just gonna take care of each other. Have the legal stuff in place before we go into the home, because as we dip, it might be. I'm just saying. All jokes aside, I don't know. It is what it is. I wish him the best of luck. I'm so sorry, I forgot. What school is he going to be coaching at? Is it UNC?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Well,
and they're not exactly known for their football program.
Right.
But they produced Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? James,
you're ruining the experience right now.
Flag on the play.
James. Yes,
James
throw
Herndon,
that flag.
25 yards.
Oh, damn.
10. Go sit your ass down.
Oops.
Well, one, I am sitting down.
NFL.
I am sitting down, one, and two, is not my fault that Bears drafted him over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
I just want everybody to remember that Mitchell Trubisky was the first quarterback taken the year he came out, in a class that also included Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
To be fair, now I don't.
Mistakes.
The year, right. So no. So now again,
see how you clean this up.
Casual college fan. So I don't. As I have been looking up some information on a certain current quarterback who was recently drafted in the 5th round.
We'll get to that later.
Oh Lord.
But looking him up, some stats on some other college quarterbacks came up. When I saw Patrick Mahomes' college career stats,
very mid.
Right, they didn't look that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So I could kind of see, just purely based on the numbers, I could kind of see him getting passed over a little bit.
Okay, passed over, yes. But the point I'm making is, at no point did anyone consider Mitchell Trubisky the best quarterback in that draft.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
So that's what. Something else that happened recently, as of yesterday, Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and about a dozen others were moved from the lifetime ban list. And it's weird for Pete Rose because he died 7 months ago.
Not till we talk about your Bears. Hey man, your Bears should make better decisions.
Mitch Trubisky was the Cooper flag.
Wow.
So one, that's disrespectful to both college football and Cooper flag.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. I mean, what's that meme with Anthony Mackie? He's out of line, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
So, Pete Rose is now eligible to be inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, as well as Shoeless Joe Jackson. I do want to point out, Shoeless Joe Jackson has been dead for, I want to say, like 50 years. I'm not mistaken.
You think Pete Rose will ever get in?
He is now, yes.
Oh, he did get in?
He will. He's eligible to go in. Shoeless Joe Jackson died in 1951. I don't understand. I mean, I know why he was banned, but the man has been dead 74 years, and you just now removed him from the ban list. Because Pete Rose's ban was a lifetime ban, meaning the day he died, his ban should have been lifted. Pete Rose passed away 7 months ago. Why the wait?
I don't necessarily think that's exactly what they mean. I don't think a lifetime ban has anything to do with his per se life. I think a lifetime ban is for the life of the Hall of Fame. No, a lifetime ban is literally for your life. As long as you breathe, you're not getting in. That's what a lifetime ban is. See, to me, you shouldn't get. No matter how you want to interpret it, I understand how you think that should mean, but by definition and Major League Baseball rules, that's what a lifetime ban is. So that's the moment you die is when you become eligible. That's actually in Major League's rules. Yes. Okay. If that's the rule, it's a stupid rule, but if that's the rule, that is the rule. Now, in the case of Shoeless Joe Jackson,
down that road.
For those who don't know, Shoeless Joe Jackson, he played for the Chicago White Sox, and in the early 1900s, I want to say the 1908 or somewhere between 08 and 1912, he rigged the World Series and caused his team to lose on purpose. Yeah. The World Series to help bettors win money. Wow. And that's how he received his lifetime ban. Now, remember, I said Shoeless Joe Jackson died in 1951. They just removed his lifetime ban yesterday.
But how do you rig a game in the 1900s?
Easy.
That's hilarious to me. I'm not saying you can't do it. Please don't break it down for me. I understand that you can. I'm just saying, like,
she said, don't go down the rabbit hole. Yeah. However, comma.
I don't want you to, because James was about to give me a whole
no, I wasn't.
And I don't want that.
Trust me, I don't. All I know is that he fixed games. The extent to which he did it, I don't know.
I know. I just think it's just funny to me. I'm just like, dang. They were ruthless in the early.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, 100%.
With the mob being prevalent and pretty much running gambling. Gambling was not a legal thing in the early 1900s. Like before 1920, gambling was not legal. So to find out that a pro athlete is rigging games for bettors to win, you basically like besmirch the game and you're committing a crime.
Well,
so
are you ready for my homework?
Yes, please go on with your homework.
Okay, so mine is more about podcasts.
Okay.
So I think that if you're not already following or watching The Pivot or oh shoot, I forgot the name of Carmelo Anthony's podcast. They are really good podcasts. But The Pivot, at the end of April, they interviewed the young man from LSU who had the head injury, and now he's in a wheelchair, and his family saying basically the school is like dodging their calls.
Yeah.
He was misdiagnosed, but that one was heartfelt to me. I know it has to do with football, but just the resilience of him coming back. He's in a wheelchair now, but he's just like so bubbly and happy and still like just happy to be alive. But The Pivot, just, you know, if you're not looking at that podcast, like they bring to light so many stories of like athletes, and it's not just about, hey, I have, you know, the most sacks in the whole league. Like they're talking to them about like life and their family and stuff like that. And it's a really good podcast to listen to when you're in Atlanta traffic or Dallas traffic. I don't know how Dallas traffic is, Qiana, but that was my non-football basketball. Check out those two.
Yeah. To also make it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it just sounds like it's more of a broad perspective, because I think that's when people actually start to have a little bit more admiration for athletes, right? They're in this box and they're this certain type of person with all these achievements. It humanizes them when you see things like that. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. That's the type of like a sports podcast that I really will be looking for. Like, I don't mind people sitting around and, you know, talking shit. We do that. But we're intelligent and have great talent and we're great people. I want to hear different perspectives on things, though.
It's good. And have your tissues handy.
Oh, God. Now, wait a minute.
Well, just depending on the story, because, you know, but I'm a big crybaby anyway. So I'm in traffic like this. Well. Crying like a baby. Like I am now, because points are down 20 points.
Yeah. One of the things that I like about the pivot.
Don't worry about them being down 20 points. They'll win by 1 at the end.
They only have like 7 minutes left in the game.
And
this isn't they have a whole quarter and a half. This is they only have 7 minutes.
Boston has blown those 20-point leads in like 7 minutes. What are you talking about? Keep hope alive.
I just told you that did you say Jalen just fouled out? Oh, Brunson just fouled out. See how this is the thing. This is why when I tell you I am a fan of teams where we don't get excited until the game is over. We could be winning by 30 points and we'd be like, let's wait. Sorry, anyway, let's go back.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, but I was gonna say one thing about the Pivot podcast. It's not just about sports.
Right.
Because they have had President Obama on the show. They've had other politicians, but there's one story that I was looking for that I was trying to tie it back into basketball to piggyback on Candaysee's mention. There was a guy, he played for Miami. He's fair skinned. I can't think of what his name is, but they get to a point on the show where he talks about how the only thing he does is he is completely like socially isolated himself to where it's either he's at home or with his kids and he doesn't do anything else. and they just legit had a real moment of 3 black men counseling a 4th black man on trying to get this brother some help to address the issues and the demons that he's fighting with. And it is a wonderful thing to see, because one, we don't get to see that with black men in a big ever. And two, it was a real moment because Channing was on there like, hey dude, the hell with what we were originally talking about. Look, what we'll do is we're both in Miami, we'll get a bouncy house for the kids. Y'all come over and we'll sit in the back and drink some beers and talk about life, and the kids can go be in the bouncy house jumping and having fun. They like legit had a real moment trying to counsel this brother to get him to realize you can do other things besides just, back in the house once you're done with your work for the day. So yeah, so the Pivot Podcast is not it's not just sports. It was a real moment because dude was over there. You could see him fighting the tears, and eventually he couldn't fight it anymore. So they just had a real man-to-man moment on that show, and it was wonderful to see.
Cool.
True and true. I cried on that one too.
Also, you saw it too. Candace, do you remember who the basketball player was? Because
I don't, but I can look for it. Because I remember once you started talking about that story, I was like, yeah, I remember.
While Candacee's looking that up, Qiana, have you got your homework now, or should Furious go?
No, I don't know. Just ask me a question and I give the answer. What, like for real, man? Life been lifing. I got.
Well, no, mine was Belichick.
What am I doing?
Oh, yours is Belichick? Okay. Then fine. You can contribute on my homework because Furious is going to get a kick out of this because Furious likes clowning me about this because of the team involved. And by saying that, he should know already what my homework is.
Oh. Go for it.
Netflix documentary, Untold series, Shooting Guards. Dropped on Netflix. I want to say the last week of the week before, and I had a chance to watch it, and I learned some things. I didn't want to know. I learned some things that I didn't even think was possible. And I learned some things that certain types of people are just going to be assholes for the sake of being an asshole, and not in a good way. Watching this was a lot for 90 minutes. For those who don't know, Shooting Guards documentary is about the incident that went down on the Washington Wizards back in 2012, I believe, with Gilbert Arenas and Jarvis Crittenden, in which guns were brandished. It's probably the simplest way I can put it, in the locker room. And the documentary goes on about how Candaysee, that player, we'll get to that shortly. The documentary goes on about their upbringings, because Gilbert Arenas grew up in California to a single father. Josh Crittenden grew up here in Atlanta with no male influence whatsoever outside of his coaching. So he was raised by his mother, his auntie, his aunties, plural, and his grandmother. And you talk about two diverse upbringings clashing when they got to the same locker room, and their viewpoints on how to behave and how to interact with your teammates basically coming to a head, because that's basically what it was. Yeah. The short version, without killing everything, was that Gilbert Arenas, at the time, the Wizards were pretty much this, I won't even say perennial contender. They weren't. They were pretty much destined to be a second round exit every single year with Gilbert Arenas at the helm. At no point were they ever going to threaten to make the Eastern Conference Finals. They were going to win their first round series and probably get destroyed in the second round. And I got used to that because it's like, hey, y'all going to play at least 7 playoff games. I'm cool watching y'all in the playoffs. Like, I knew what it was. I didn't have overextended expectations of this team. It was just a matter of which top dog is going to bounce them at the time. You know, LeBron's first stint with Cleveland, the Boston team that was put together, or, you know, whoever else was over there at the time. So Gilbert was the top dog, but he was also the big brother on the team and a practical jokester. Like, he loved pulling pranks on everybody because that was the way he built camaraderie with his teammates, literally playing jokes on people, whether they wanted it or not. And even when they told him stop, he didn't, because laughter was his coping mechanism. To poke fun and play pranks was how he dealt with stuff. And Josh Crittenden, yeah, not so much.
One of them was about that life and the other was not.
Well, here's the thing. Josh Crittenden actually wasn't about that life. Josh Crittenden fell in with that because, like many a young player from, I'll say, 2000 to 2015, who foolishly came out after their freshman year when they weren't ready, Josh Crittenden was one of those players. So he went to Georgia Tech, which means he didn't leave Atlanta to go to college. He played 1 year at Tech. He was okay. He wasn't great. Yes, there was some flashes of brilliance. He probably should have stayed another year, if not 2.
Oh, he easily needed 3 years in college.
He got drafted by the Lakers. And he got drafted by the Lakers while Kobe was still there right after they traded, like shortly after they traded Shaq. So it's a Kobe-run team. He is a guard that is pretty much 4th or 5th on the depth chart. He is not being dressed for games. He was a second-round draft pick of the Lakers. And because of that dynamic shift, because he was top dog at high school, he was top dog for 1 year at Georgia Tech, and he goes to the Lakers, and it's pretty much he's been smacked down into a new reality. You ain't the man out here. Right. Hell, you ain't even the second man, the third man, or fourth man at your own position, let alone the team. So you're not playing, and Phil Jackson is still coaching. So he easily became depressed by that. And with no way to coach and no support system in LA, the knucklehead hood friends he had in Atlanta connected him with the Crips out in LA. Because as Herm Edwards always says, nothing good happens after midnight. So he was out in LA a couple of times trying to, enjoy the nightlife, if you will, and at least cope with not playing. And like most young players, when they enter a sports league, wearing a lot of jewelry, driving a nice car, and he got robbed at gunpoint. And pretty much was terrified to go back out in LA. And that's when he reached out to friends and they connected him with some of the Crips out in LA. So when he gets traded to Washington, now he's going to be backing up Gilbert Arenas. And they developed the bond overnight. So big brother, little brother type thing. But again, Crittenden, not with the whole jokester, playing around goofiness. It doesn't jive with him. So Gilbert's playfulness, he knew what it was. He just didn't know to what extent. All that to say is that Crittenden had guns. Gilbert was collecting guns. What no one knew, though, was that Gilbert developed a love of collecting guns while he was in college at Arizona because the father of the woman he was dating was a gun collector. And he told that guy, hey, when I sign my first big contract, I'd like to buy your whole collection. Ooh. And when he got that fat deal in Washington, he did. Now, people are trying to understand, how did Gilbert Arenas get all these guns in DC? Because if you order a gun from someplace or you buy it out of state, you have to pretty much ship it to yourself. You can't bring that on the plane. Remember, this is after 9/11 still. Because teams fly on a chartered flight, Gilbert was literally buying guns or picking them up from, the former girlfriend's dad, putting them in something, stuffing it in his bag, and getting on a chartered plane and flying back home with it. So that's how he amassed his gun collection. Every time they were in Arizona playing Phoenix, he would stop by, pick up a gun, and, put it on the charter plane and fly it back.
Right.
They get to button heads over a card game, something as silly as playing cards. So here's this thing, because other players who were on the team at the time spoke out about this. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. Basically, because competition is an adrenaline rush, right? You play a sport, there's some level of competition, I won't say machismo, but there's an adrenaline rush of competing. And if you don't play much or you're constantly chasing that rush, you're going to resort to other outlets to fill it. Famously, Michael Jordan with his gambling and golfing and going to Atlantic City every time they played the Knicks. So players are playing cards. They're betting money on these games, and they're betting money. Some of them betting money they don't have. I'm talking about they'll pay back later or whatever, or that typically happens amongst all teams, regardless of sport, right? This player owes me this amount of several $1,000s. This player owes me several $1,000s by that player several thousand. Like everybody's owing each other several $1,000s. Yes, they're not betting 20s or 100s. They're betting a guap on these cards.
They're betting our rents and mortgages.
Yes, that's what they're betting. So Josh gets involved because he's telling one player, go ahead, be a man and pay that dude back. Since you got it now, since you won the money back in this pot, go ahead and pay that man back who you owe. And Gilbert's like, stay out their business. So they get to jarring back and forth over their distinct inputs on said situation. Gilbert, being Gilbert, because again, joking around and clowning is his way to cope, and he likes pushing people's buttons, wanted to see how far Jarvis was going to go. He was not backing down. He was taking this right up to the edge. And somehow I'll take you, something to the effect of, I'll take you out or I'll shoot you or whatever. And Gilbert said, you know what? I will bring you the gun so you can shoot me if it comes to that. So the day the incident went down, Gilbert put two guns. He was like getting ready to go to practice and remember, oh shoot, I forgot my guns. And before he leaves the crib, grabs two guns. He said a Desert Eagle was one, and I forgot what the other gun was. He put them both in his bag, brought them. Josh Crittenden was like, I don't know what to expect from this dude because he don't act right in the head. So I came with my strap and I went to the locker room. And Gilbert was the first one there. And Gilbert put the Desert Eagle on Crittenden's chair with a note. Since you said you're going to shoot me, I brought you a gun so you can shoot me, just in case you ain't got one. Go ahead, here's your chance. And I literally wrote that note. Crittenden comes in, sees the gun, throws it. We don't know whether the gun was loaded or not. Throws the gun across the locker room back at Gilbert. I don't need your gun. I got my own. And pulls out his gun. And that is when players was like, oh, snap, and ran out. So that's how that incident went down. How the story got out, though, is because the team officials heard about it, tried to contain it in-house, but notorious insider at the time, Peter Vesey, who always seemed to know things he wasn't supposed to know. No, seriously.
I know.
Peter Vesey in that era always knew something he legit was not supposed to know. He did an interview with, and they showed this in the documentary. He did an interview with Phil Jackson and asked about a clause in his contract that literally nobody was supposed to know about. Because that's what Phil says. Like, how did you know that? Like, who told you that? Like, why do you know that?
Yeah.
And refused to answer the question because it's like, Peter Vesey, why do you know this?
I'm not giving up my source.
So yeah, that's how good Peter Vesey was. He was literally learning things that nobody else was supposed to know. So Washington felt they had this contained. Unfortunately, players talked to people outside the locker room. And 6 degrees of separation, word got out that Gilbert and Crittenden were the ones with the guns, and Peter Vesey was the one to break the story. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there because they both had trial dates. Crittenden's career was both their careers basically ended. Gilbert, however, was suspended by the league, not so much for having a gun in the locker room, but they said that he was because of how he obtained his guns and got them from Arizona to DC. They said that he was trafficking guns. Right. And he had to fight that case, which he did not serve time for. Crittenden, however, went overseas, played, tried to work his way back into the league, and every time something would come up, somebody would, in his words, spread a rumor or say something negative about him because he was trying to keep his head down. Never really latched on with another team, so he fell back into the knucklehead crowd that pretty much connected him with the Crips in LA. He fell in with them here in Atlanta. And instead of trying to do something positive with his life, again, nothing good happens after midnight. He went to the club. He was out with his boys and either his boys or his brother. And he came out of the club one night and someone literally rolled up, gun to his face, and snatched all his jewelry off again at gunpoint. This is here in Atlanta. Furious. Cleveland Avenue.
Yep.
Okay, so enough said.
Oh yeah.
Because that's where a lot of stuff went down.
Yeah.
Was Cleveland Avenue. And
especially back in those days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Josh went to the police, filed a report, and at this point, this is him hitting rock bottom. He's been robbed now twice at gunpoint, once in LA and now in Atlanta for his jewelry. And
which he's from Atlanta. He should have known better.
Yeah, I know. So needless to say, he went looking for the person. It did not end well. And he got 25 years in prison.
I don't gotta watch it now.
You're welcome.
You just,
Actually, you should watch it because I didn't give away everything.
You didn't leave any crumbs or anything for me.
Oh no, no. There are definitely some pieces James left out of this story.
Well, okay. I'm not hungry and I'm not watching this shit.
Right?
I am depressed.
Even with as much as
the part I'm purposely leaving out is how and why he got out early.
So I haven't watched the documentary, but I know the story. So even with as much as James has told y'all, there are still pieces he's leaving out.
Mm-hmm.
That it definitely makes checking out this documentary worthwhile.
So yeah, if you're ever curious as far as how that whole situation unfolded and what went down in the aftermath, yeah, crazy doesn't even begin to. So yeah.
Oh, but James, the reason I said one of them was about that life and one of them wasn't, for some reason, a lot of Gilbert Arenas videos have been showing up in my social media feed like the last month or so. Really? I don't know why, because I don't know. It's just I've never searched for Gilbert Arenas. I'm not a Washington Bullets fan per se. But the videos have been showing up. And in one of the videos, Gilbert himself said, I was not about that life like he was. That came out of Gilbert's mouth.
Fair, but that's based on what Gilbert knew and watch the documentary.
Yeah. But it's just,
so it's a perspective thing. It's like, I didn't grow up with you, but we bond because we play for the same team. I only know of you what you tell me and what I gauge from your personality.
Fair.
So yeah.
Candaysee, are you okay? What's that look you got on your face?
Oh, I was paying attention to make sure that I was hearing everything that you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I thought you might be giving a little bit more tidbits.
No. Watch a documentary.
Great.
Yeah, go on and watch it, and I'll come over in the living room. You tell me what happened.
Living room.
Oh gosh, since we have some time left, I took way too much time on that, but yeah, it trust me, it was worth dishing on that one. Rounding out this evening, unless someone else has any other homework they wanted to dish on before we hit this. No, yes, we good. All right, cool. So a couple of major things happened. We had a whole draft. The schedule was released about roughly 2 hours ago. We've all had a chance to glance at it. I knew about 7 of my team's games since, between Sunday and this morning, because one game got released every single day, basically. Any place where y'all want to start, the draft or
let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room of the draft out of the way.
Shedeur Sanders. Okay.
Personally, I do not see him as first round draft talent.
Okay.
He's definitely better than 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely better than 5th. First round, I don't see it. Now, some of the meetings and whatnot, the one that sticks out the most is, hold on, which one? Let me find the picture. Was with the Giants, where they said that Brian Daboll put in some in the install that they had him analyze. He intentionally put some mistakes in the install, and what the rumor is that Shedeur, 1, didn't pick up on whatever the mistakes were, and then 2 was real pissy when he got called out for not knowing what those mistakes were, which I thought was kind of interesting, because who was it that said it? Was it Cam? It may have been Cam Newton who said it. Was like, we all know part of the job of a quarterback in this league is you have to be liked by your team and the coaching staff.
Yes.
It's just one of those positions where people liking you matters. And then there was another interview that they said, what was it that he said, if you're not going to change the culture of your organization when I get there, don't even waste your time looking at me. And I'm like, there's been all of this. Lots of people in our community are up in arms and in their feelings because they are of the opinion that the NFL is trying to humble this outspoken young Black man. And I'm sitting there going to myself, what exactly is he outspoken about?
No, I mean,
like, to me, they're doing a disservice to actual outspoken athletes.
Fair, yes.
And I just think that it was, who was it that I was listening to? Bomani Jones. His is another sports podcast that I think if you've got some room to slide it into your rotation, you should. Bomani's our age. He went to Clark Atlanta University. I know one of his parents, both of them might both be college professors, but definitely one of his parents is. The perspective he provided, which is the one I tend to agree with, is that Shedeur listened too much to what Deion was telling him. Because he was saying that Shedeur was kind of Bomani says that Shedeur was of the opinion that since my dad knows how all of this works, everything my dad is telling me about how my process is going to be is how my process is going to be. To me, the problem with that is your dad went through this process 30 plus years ago. 30 plus years ago. It is not the same. The amount of bravado that Dion came into the league with, to me personally, I don't think Shedeur had the on-field presence to have that same level of bravado. And he put too much stock into what his dad said. And there was a meme that somebody posted. Oh, where is it? From March of 2018, where Dion said, I love what the Browns have done this offseason, but if I'm a young QB, ain't no way I'm going to Cleveland. I will pull a Eli Manning if possible. And then we turn around and where is his son? Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So I really think that he's definitely better than 5th round talent. There's no doubt about that. He should have not been drafted in the 5th round. There is a part of me that I can't believe I'm going to agree with Stephen A. Smith on something, but the league does not, coaches and owners in the league do not need to collude to send you a message because they all have essentially the same interests. The interests of one are pretty much the interests of all the others. So do I think they colluded to send him a message? No. Do I think some of them intended to send him a message? Yes, I do. Only from the perspective of you've got to take this process seriously. And from what we know, he did not take this process seriously. And I think that's the message people were trying to send to him is, oh, if you're not going to take this process seriously, watch what happens.
Candaysee or Q, when you want to chime in?
Mac, I have a question. These individuals, and I know they're members of the Black community, that caused a ruckus in any conversations you had with them, were they able to provide clear, concise examples?
Nope.
That this is what I'm saying. And it's okay sometimes to act on emotion. I think sometimes as a community, we are just like automatically on defense and we feel like we have to protect each other.
Yep.
But sometimes I've been saying this all this week because people been talking about Diddy and Shannon Sharp and all of that. They're out to hang the Black man. Don't give them the rope to hang you with. And you won't have a problem.
Right. Because don't get me wrong, I'm with you. We definitely need to protect ourselves because nobody else, is going to look out for us. However, we also have to look at the facts of the situation. And this is one of those times where we as a community didn't look at all the facts. We ran with our feelings, and that's all we ran with. Collectively. Obviously, some of us are like, whoa, wait a minute. But collectively, we didn't look at the facts of this situation.
But what are the facts that we actually know? Nobody knows anything. What are the actual facts? That's my thing. I'm like, sources say that he was too cocky. Sources say such and such. Until somebody gives me a name, Mac Jenkins said, oops, sorry. I just called out your whole
because scouts and people in tune with the draft process want to keep their jobs, they're not going to put their names out there. They will be sources.
I get that, but in the world of speculation and in the world of the media wants to make everything bigger than what it is. And take things out of context. Like, I feel like we never really got when they say sources say, they don't give you
Right.
the whole broad picture. They'll pull one sentence out or another sentence out.
Well,
and
so
then at the end of the day, Shador is his dad's son. And he has the confidence that he has because of who he is. And sometimes we see that as being cocky when it's confidence.
But when your confidence is more than your on-field performance, there's a problem. Now, the other thing I will say is,
well,
the business of the speculation that goes on. There are certain people who, Bomani, Jamel Hill, even Stephen A. There are certain people that when they give you tidbits of information, there's a 90% chance that they're right because they've been in this industry long enough that they've got trusted sources of people who are going to tip them off to information because those sources know their names will not be revealed. And again, but like you said, we don't actually know who those people are. All we know is what certain media outlets are telling us. And again, Jamel Hill and Bomani Jones, and who is it that Bomani does a podcast with?
Dominique Foxworth.
Dominique Foxworth. Those are some media people that, because Bomani and Foxworth have been in the industry, and Foxworth being a former player, they're probably getting the correct information. Again, Jamel Hill has been a reporter, 20 years, James? Because Jamel she's a little younger than us, but not much.
She's older than us.
Oh, she's older than us?
Yes.
Oh, I thought she was. Okay. But again, they've been in the industry long enough that, like Candaysee, example, you know how long I've been in the industry that I work in. If I tell you something about my industry, isn't there a 90% chance you're going to believe me?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To me, it's the same thing with some of these people. Now, obviously, there are certain media outlets like that fat bastard Jason Whitlock.
We don't mention him. Sorry, stop right now. You don't.
I ain't believing shit he says.
No. Matter of fact, don't even mention his name again on this show.
But again, there are just certain people that when stuff comes out of their mouth, completely disregard it. He's one of those people.
So
Jamel is one of those people. If Jamel Hill says it, I'm inclined to believe it.
So because Jamel Hill, Bomani, Stephen A., and even though he's been caught with his pants down once or twice, Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, these are people who, the first three, first and foremost, vet their sources and double check before they run with information, because they don't have the leeway to quote a source and be out and out wrong. They just don't, for the obvious reasons. The latter two can pretty much be like, I got it wrong, and no one's going to drag them because obvious reasons. So I will say this about the reporting that I've seen that's come out from both ESPN Network and NFL Network for all of this about Shador, pretty much points to one main thing. And yes, it does stem to the bravado, if you will, confidence of Shador stemming from his father. And ultimately what we now see is bad advice he got from his dad, is that he did not take the interview process seriously with certain teams to pretty much make sure they were not going to draft him. As much as I would like to compare this to an Eli situation from 15-ish years ago, where they basically told the then San Diego Chargers, don't draft me, I'm not going there. Eli didn't tank interviews. Eli still did the interview with the Chargers and other teams that were probably going to try to trade up to draft him. And he did his due diligence in those interviews. He did not go in to purposefully tank, disregard, fool around, brush off, or make a mockery of the interview process as basically the reporting, not the rumors. That's the reporting coming out as far as why Shedeur fell to the 5th round. And yes, I don't believe he's a 5th round talent. I think that there is a debate to be made that he could have been bottom of the 1st, but definitely a 2nd round draft pick.
Yep.
Having watched the games of Colorado this year, yes, there are problems in this game, but no prospect, no matter how big or can't miss they've been coming out of college, has been perfect or completely 100% NFL ready from the college game to the pro game. So, there's always going to be criticism no matter how great a quarterback performs at the college level. But you're not going to convince me from a talent alone that he deserved to fall to the 5th round. You're never going to convince me of that, because as much as his dad rebuilt that program in Colorado, their offensive line is complete trash. Has been, will be, and good luck, Deion, trying to get another quarterback to either transfer or come there. Because, yeah. But yes, I believe that 100% wholeheartedly he fell because he listened to his dad. And again, as many a pundit have pointed out, your dad went through this process 40 some odd years ago as a top cornerback coming out with the bravado to back it up. And even when he was being interviewed during the 1st round, he actually is on air saying, I hope Detroit doesn't pick me here, when they picked Barry Sanders. And then the next pick was Atlanta picking him. Like, that's live on air.
Yeah.
Shedeur is playing in a position, and no matter how much we say the quarterback is important, he can't make a mockery of the process.
Right.
Like, no one, unfortunately, the NFL is still, from pro football. When I say pro football, I mean college and NFL. When I say pro football, it is such a machine that no matter how big you are, the machine will keep spinning without you.
Yep.
You are never too big to alter the process of how things are done, unless it is collectively by you and a number of top-notch cohorts. But you, as a player leaving college to the pros, you cannot make a mockery of the draft process, specifically interviewing. Because first people want to say, well, he didn't throw at the combine. None of the 1st round quarterbacks over the last 3 years threw at the combine.
Nope.
That includes C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young.
I don't think Cam threw at the. I don't think Cam Ward threw.
Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
Cam
Ward.
Didn't he throw?
Jackson Dart didn't throw.
He said he didn't.
So no quarterback drafted in the 1st round. Now, last year, I will make an exception. The first 2 quarterbacks, Williams and Daniels, didn't throw. Other people did. But the year before, Stroud and Bryce Young, they didn't throw. So
no, Candaysee he did.
Huh?
No, I was just telling Candaysee Cam Ward didn't throw at the combine.
Yeah, Cam Ward did not throw. Yeah, Cam Ward did not throw. He was the 1st overall pick. So yes, when quarterbacks know they're going in the top half of the draft, especially in the 1st round, they're not throwing at the draft. Hell, I am now applauding the fact that all of the black quarterbacks coming out are refusing to run the 40. Yeah, because people still try to put out negative things about, again, the same quarterbacks I just named: C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. They try to put out negative things about them for not running the 40 the years they came out. Those 4 didn't run the 40. They chose not to. Why? So you can try to experiment and try to put rumors and BS out there that they should change positions because for whatever reason you don't like them.
Oh, you should be a wide receiver as fast as you are, not a quarterback.
Right. And that's why they don't want to give him the ammunition.
Right.
So no top prospect quarterback is throwing at the combine anymore. They're not running at the combine. They're waiting for their pro day.
Yeah. I mean, because realistically, by the time you get to the combine, they are well aware of your athletic prowess. They know what you can do.
Well, it's mostly just for the medicals. And a lot of players are refusing the medical part of the combine because team doctors for NFL franchises lie.
So how did Shador rank on, since we were talking about Shador, how did he rank on his pro day then? Was it all good for? So my thing is, so we're talking about him being in the 5th round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So mainly we're saying that he went in the 5th round, not because of
it's not the
his
talent.
athletics, but because of
it's everything else.
All of the other stuff that
the bad advice you got from Dion. Yes.
Quote unquote. Because I understand what you're saying about people having trusted sources and stuff. Not saying that I don't believe that someone might have said it, or I don't believe that Shador didn't tank him. But what I'm saying is that I'm one of those people that if it's not from the person, I just am like, I take it with a grain of salt. Now, did he bomb him? He probably did bomb him. Like, it probably did happen. But to just willy-nilly say,
No, that wasn't willy-nilly.
I believe in all of the people that you said. I believe in the Bomani Jones and the Jamel Hills and all of them. I really do, because they always get us right. But I don't know.
It'd be one thing, Candaysee, if it was just one person from, one source from a team that said it. When it's multiple people from multiple teams saying the same thing, because it's not like Shador being a top 10 was slim as we were going through the draft process. So again, this is when the interviews are happening. So when you start hearing things about him sliding, possibly like he may not be a top 2 pick, then he may not be a top 10 pick. And the more and more that information is coming out and him sliding just from, he may not be the top half of the first round, or he may be a bottom first round pick. The reason we heard that early in the draft process is because he was tanking these interviews. That's why we started hearing about, wait, what do you mean he's sliding out of the first round? How can this be the reporting that you all are putting out there? So again,
I understand the process.
Goofy.
Well, perhaps Dion will discuss all of this on his Netflix show called Prime, which debuts next year. I'm being dead serious.
I'm really wondering what the hell is this show going to be about?
Which show is this? Is this the Tubi
show? No, he's got a Netflix show coming out.
Netflix show coming out next year.
Yes, but he currently has a show on Tubi. So is this going to be the same? Yes.
No, I think the Netflix is going to be more of a documentary style type.
Wait, what's the Tubi show? What goes on the Tubi show? Is it just a reality show of them following him around?
It's him, and isn't it him and some? What's the girl's name?
I don't know the girl's name. It's a bunch of fuckery. Like they first of all, it's Tubi. I mean, no disrespect, because I ain't gonna lie.
No, all the disrespect.
Looking at the Tubies, but I mean, it's like a talk show, and they have guests and everything. But sometimes I feel like Dion is doing. I mean, I know he does the most. I get it. I understand that, but I'm like, sir, please stay in your lane. And don't bring Shannon Sharp on your show. And
it's Dion and Roski Diaz.
That's it. She used to be on 106 and Park, right?
And it's called We Got Time Today.
Ignorant.
So moving on.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
All right.
I'm already in it.
Nope. We're going to get you out of it. NFL schedule release.
The episodes.
NFL schedule release.
Schedule. Ooh.
Squirrel. Everybody happy? Because I'm not.
No.
No, I'm just
No.
I am, but I'm not.
Hold on. Let's start with Q. Why are you not happy with the Saints schedule? First of all, are you okay because you all don't have a quarterback right now since Derek Carr retired on Saturday?
Qiana, fix my team. Where that lady at? Where that black lady at? We are just doomed in garbage and trash. No, I mean, you know what pisses me off the most? It's the front office. Like, they're not dedicated. They don't want to win. They're not taking this shit seriously. So, I mean, for the next couple months, y'all just gonna be seeing me sitting here drinking Jack Daniels, crying. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when you love the game. You ain't gotta win the Super Bowl, but I feel like the front office is just trash and just don't give a damn. As far as the schedule, I don't even think we have any primetime games, which I'm fine with because who wants to keep getting embarrassed on national TV? Take my blood pressure the way it need to be to live to be 49, just turned 48 in April. So there we go. I'm done.
You're gonna have to send me your address so I can send you a better bottle than Jack.
Ooh, I know that's why I fucks with you.
You don't need
You need
some better.
Yes. I've only had it once. I do love that. Shout out to product placement. That's just where I am right now. Yeah.
All right, so Qiana needs a hug.
No, I'm gonna go lay on the couch. Candaysee, move over.
You want my Wonder Woman blanket? It's right here for you.
Shit, and a bottle at this point. I'm sorry, somebody else go.
Candaysee, your bills.
You know, I'm not too upset about the schedule. I would have liked to see us have like one of those cool games like Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I'm good with 5 primetime games. That's all that we have this year because I feel like last year we had a whole bunch of them. And I'm excited that they're playing in Atlanta this year, so that's my happy place. And I'm happy we're not doing an international game because I think those are ridiculous. And yeah, let's just stay on our soil and win games.
You don't like the international games?
No, we always lose.
That's a lot.
I'm tripping because of her disgust over only 5 primetime games.
Only 5.
Sir, when we get to your schedule, because I was looking and I was like, Philadelphia was on almost every single slide when they were showing the first week, the second week, the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas, the week.
We have 7 standalone games. Yes.
But you are the Super Bowl champions, so you should.
I know. Trust me. I knew we were going to get an uptick in standalone games. I was not expecting this many against the particular teams that we got.
Yikes!
You're going to play Chicago.
Well, there you go.
You're going to play Green Bay. No, who else are you playing?
We are playing Green Bay on Monday night.
Yes, there we go.
So,
I saw that too.
The kickoff game, which was probably the biggest shock because this is the first game announced on Monday for the entire schedule, was opening on NBC Thursday night against Dallas.
Oh.
Right. I was not expecting that.
Interesting.
You really, you think? Now, don't get me wrong. I know we're going to have to play Dallas twice. I was just not expecting them to be the first opponent of the season for the banner raise because usually I get it. You want a matchup that's going to draw eyeballs. It's the Super Bowl champions. You need a compelling matchup, but I was expecting like Detroit or Vegas or who else we have at home? Chicago. Maybe Washington before we got to Dallas, like any of those teams that come to Philadelphia. That's who I was expecting opening night. I wasn't expecting Dallas because the way the football news machine likes to keep Dallas at the forefront at all times when the season starts until they lose or miss the playoffs. Because like you kind of want to save Dallas for like week 5, 6, or whatever, let both teams get a string of wins, and then we play Dallas, not opening day. So the jokes have already started that what's Jerry going to think being in Philadelphia watching the Eagles raise a second championship banner when he hasn't been to a conference title game in over 30 years. Yes, that's already been the talk since Monday.
Damn.
Since Monday. And of course, the usual Dallas hoopla is why Dallas is the opponent that we open up against.
Speaking of a front office that don't give a damn, some people don't give a damn. Jerry Jones be getting on the local news like I'll be like, are you frozen? Do you really know what's going on, sir?
No, he doesn't.
Hey.
I know you want things to remain the same forever, ever.
You all hush. We pray for the good fortune and health of Jerry Jones. Let that man live. Let that man live. If this is how he wants to run his franchise, then so be it. But we pray for his continued good health.
Oh my God.
Besmirching Jerry Jones. What is wrong with you people?
The most
How do you like your
bullshit.
December 28th game?
I don't like the fact that it's sandwiched between our Washington game. So this is the quirk. Every year, there are at least a handful of teams that have these weird scheduling quirks, right? So the Eagles have this weird quirk this year that happens twice. In one stretch of the season, we play at the Giants, at the Vikings, and then home against the Giants. Yeah, that's right. The Giants in 3 weeks with the Vikings sandwiched in between. And to end the season, weeks 16, 17, and 18 is at Washington, at Buffalo, home for Washington. Why are we squeezing Buffalo in between two tilts with Washington? And why are we waiting to the freaking end of the season to play Washington, the team that we smacked in the NFC title game? Why couldn't those dates be spread out a little bit more?
Now, welcome to my world, because normally the Bills schedule looks like that. At the end, we tend to play week 16 like New England, then somebody at 17, and then New England again. Or last year, I think last year it was the Jets.
Okay, but Candaysee, with all due respect, aside from Buffalo, the rest of your division sucks.
That's what they said last year too.
And it did. Y'all got 6 wins out your division. What you talking about? Y'all swept y'all division last year.
Those were hard wins.
Those are 6 of the easiest wins I've ever seen in my life in any single football season.
Did you watch those games?
Yes, I watched those games.
You didn't watch as a Bills fan.
You're right. I did not watch as a Bills fan, but I know the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots provided zero competition last year for y'all. In 6 tries.
We almost lost to Miami and to the Jets. We did. Then we got it together and
Don't say that out loud.
Just saying. It happened. You guys didn't watch that game. Like literally. Just saying.
Just make sure Allen don't
have a struggle in y'all winning those games.
Well, he's getting married at the end of the month.
I was just gonna say, make sure he keep that lady happy so she'll stop looking at Michael B. Jordan the witch.
Well, she had to look at him like that. It was a movie. You know? She was supposed to look at him like that because she was
in the movie.
In the movie,
not on the carpet.
Well, I mean,
of the Reds.
When there was a fine specimen.
Is Josh Allen marrying Haley Steinfeld?
Yes, sir.
Boy,
they've been together for a little while.
They've been dating and everything. What in the world? Sir, see, you was all up in this other world of Philadelphia.
I do not concern myself with the romantic lives of athletes.
I don't either, but I just so happen to be a Bills fan.
Yeah, and now it's like my algorithm is all jacked up because people are trying to start things because that's what they'll do. They'll post videos of the two of them gazing at each other on the red carpet, and then Josh Allen is in the corner with his head hung down.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yes.
I keep seeing. So I'm in like a lot of Bills groups.
Mm-hmm.
And how about I'm in a group called Bills Babes, and those girls were going back and forth on if they should. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bills Babes. If they want to support Haley still. Like they basically went through the whole thing and they were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that this movie was actually going to be really good. I was just going to support Haley. That was that group. And then I was like, I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to go there, right? Not going to go there with those women.
Yeah.
But then in my other
you
Bills
probably know
group,
what they look like.
the guy, exactly. And then my other Bills group, because there were some other ladies that went kind of in it for it. So I was like, I don't need to say anything. But then I had my other Bills groups where the guys were like, I don't know if I should go see Sinners on for respect to Josh Allen. Beautiful, and she's supposed to blah, blah, blah. I was like, really, guys, it's a movie. Just go.
They know him?
Watch it. They don't
Oh,
care.
this is a whole nother rabbit hole of foolishness and delusion.
Anyway, Furious, Falcon schedule. Furious, your Falcons.
Oh, yes.
Looking at my Falcons schedule, there are about 4 or 5 games that if we were to lose, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. The rest of the schedule, I think, is very winnable. So
Did you say you guys were going to lose to the Bills?
No, I did not say we were going to lose to the Bills.
Oh, okay. I heard the things that you said. I didn't know if you said the Bills were in that one. So everything else is winnable.
Yeah.
Again, there are about 4 or 5 games that if we lose, I'm not going to be surprised. The rest of the schedule, I think, is very winnable. Now, does that mean we're going to go 11-6? I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I like our chances to win the division. I do.
That's
because no,
That's
that
every
is
year.
not every year. Okay,
That's every
there
year.
are some years I'm like, I know we're not winning the division.
That's every
Again,
year. You don't know who's going to win till the
Well,
last.
I would go ahead and give you the 2 wins from my sorry ass team, but for whatever reason, I don't know what it is about us rivals.
We're going to split the games with the Saints.
Yeah, that
we're gonna
always
split that.
seems to happen.
Yeah, no, that we're splitting the games with the Saints. Although one thing I do like about the schedule is we open with Tampa Bay and we end with New Orleans. We open and end with division rivals, which I like. I really do.
Is that Saints game going to be? Is that last game going to be in Atlanta or in New Orleans?
It is, and it's in Atlanta. It's here. It's a home game.
Oh Lord, that's going to be a good one.
Right.
I'm
debating whether or not I want to try and get tickets, but there's a part of me that's like, do I want to risk getting into a fight? I'm getting too old for this shit.
Sir.
What?
Come on now.
I'm just saying, you know them.
It's not your color. Don't do
you
that.
know those two fan bases do not like each other.
Of course not, but violence.
Have you ever been to a Saints game here in Atlanta?
I've been to 3.
In Atlanta?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And you've not seen any other fights?
I've seen, but see, growing up in New Orleans, I learned you walk away from the fights. I don't do fights. Y'all fighting, it's just not that serious to me. However, when you start saying personal shit, that's when I'm gonna get to swinging and my hand's gonna be E-rated for everybody.
Lord. All right, so back to the schedule.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to sit here and say we're definitely going to win the division. I'm saying I like our chances. I like our chances to. Well, let me. As long as our starting quarterback is not Kirk Cousins, I like our chances to win the division. As long as it's Michael Penix, I like our chances because we finally made some decent defensive picks in the draft this year. We finally have a legit edge rusher, which we haven't had a legit edge rusher since
Jesse Tuggle.
Abraham.
Jesse Tuggle.
Jesse
Tuggle.
No, I'm not going to give you that.
That's fine, but Abraham was a shell of himself after leaving New York and coming to Atlanta. He was not the same dude, and you know this.
And that may be fair, but he was a hell of a edge rusher for us. He wasn't what. Again, now that we've got a legit edge rusher, somebody who can finally get some pressure on the quarterback, that other cornerback and the safety that we picked up, we hopefully will no longer get torched on deep balls anymore. So again, I like our draft picks. I'm glad that they focused on the defensive side of the ball. And I think this is going to be a good year for my Falcons.
All I'm saying is, if you're going to win a division, like, make it worth it. Don't sweep Tampa Bay and then at the end of the season against Carolina. Like,
yeah. Hold on, wait. Carolina is our Carolina game is what's that? Week 11, and when's the other one? It's earlier in the season. Yeah, week 3 and week 11.
See, that's how division games are supposed to be spread out, not twice in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, we've got a division game week 1 and week 3.
Okay, that's the division game. It's not the same opponent, though. You're not playing Tampa Bay twice.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. But again, needless to say, I like our chances of having a respectable season this year, because we haven't had a respectable season in 8-9 years
since you lost a Super Bowl. Yeah. Other notable games taking place in week 1, the day after the Eagles raised the banner, the NFL is going back to Brazil. This time it's the Chiefs and the Chargers. The Sunday night game for week 1 is Buffalo at Baltimore, where their season ended last year. And the Monday night game is Minnesota at Chicago. So, yeah.
Can somebody run me through the locations of the international games? Now I feel like I'm when did we start? When did the Brazil game start?
Last year with Philadelphia and Green Bay.
Okay. And are they still, and then Germany, Mexico City, London, are those still locations as well?
Yep. Yeah. Berlin are the Falcons and the Colts this year.
Yeah, okay. So the first international game after the Brazilian game, the traditional international series begins, I believe, week 3 or week 4? Let me double check this. It's week 3.
Okay.
Wait, no, sorry, week 4. My bad. Yes, it is week 4. Minnesota and Pittsburgh will play in Dublin, Ireland in week 4. Yeah. In week 5, it will be Minnesota and Cleveland in London from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Week 6 is Denver and the Jets, also in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. Week 7 is the Rams and Jacksonville from Wembley Stadium in London.
Okay.
Week 9 is, I don't think
Falcons,
there's one
Colts.
week 9. I think they skipped 9.
There is no week 9. Week 10.
It's week 10.
Week 10.
Week 10.
Yeah, week 10. So they skip a couple of weeks. Get that up here. Week 10 is Atlanta and the Colts from Olympic Stadium in Berlin.
Oh, okay.
And then the final one is week 11, Washington and Miami from Madrid, Spain.
I enjoyed the one that I went to many, many years ago in London. I would advise, if you all are able to do that. For me, I'm nosy as hell and love to talk to people. So I'm talking to the locals about American football. It was just a fascinating experience to me to chat with them about that and like what they like about American football. Because with them, they were fans of the players, not so much the team. So you walking around with a Drew Brees jersey and a Green Bay hat, and I'm all fucked up and confused. Like, what's going on? Like, why are y'all doing that? But I really do advise it if you guys get a chance to do one, if you haven't already done so. It's just a really great experience, especially to chat it up with the locals about their perspectives on American football. And we did not stand for the national anthem.
God
bless the Queen.
I've always been.
You mean
impressed.
the King? The Queen is dead.
Well, at that time, she was still alive.
Okay.
I've always been impressed with how many fans of the NFL there are in a lot of these places where soccer is their traditionally top sport. So yeah, that's just always been interesting to me that they love the NFL that much.
There's a sports bar in Paris called Who Dat, which is crazy to me. And I was like, wait a minute, I be thinking I'm seeing things. But again, because I just really assume that most people overseas are just like American football. But, it's a lot of us over there, and they do build a community.
Yeah.
I mean, in New Orleans being, the Creole culture of the area,
right.
I could easily see there being a large New Orleans fan base in Paris. I could easily see that. Yeah.
So
but I wouldn't eat the food. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Soon is an international game in Australia at some point.
Oh, wow.
Wait, say that again, James.
Australia is going to get an international game at some point. So
I'm not going to that one. The nature in Australia is dangerous.
Nature in Australia is trying to kill you at every single second.
Right. You're in what you assume to be a traditional inner city area, and you open the door and look outside, and there's a big ass kangaroo waiting to punch you in the face. No.
It's the freaking dog-sized tarantulas that just walk around carrying newspapers.
Oh, I'm good.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you.
Candaysee's face.
No, thank you.
Nope, I'll pass. Mm-mm. I'm not trying to turn the corner and see a snake. And no.
The snake won't just bite you; it might swallow you whole.
Right.
Well, what's just so interesting to me? Like, the kangaroo be standing at the door. White people be, but you afraid of black people. That's all I'm gonna say. Then I'm done. There's a kangaroo at your door, but you afraid of us. Okay. I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
she's not wrong.
I know.
That's gonna be our new phrase. You ain't wrong. No, you ain't lying.
So there is a Super Bowl rematch in week 2 at 425 where the Eagles go to Kansas City. So, I'm not happy about that being so early in the season, but
they really should have made that at 420, not 425.
I mean, it's going to be the standalone game at 425.
But still, it should have been 420.
I see what you did there, but that's the quote 4 o'clock starts are either 4:15 or 4:25. So I don't know why they skip around 4:20. Probably for the reason you said it, but it's either 4:15 or 4:25 for that 4 o'clock window, but it is what it is.
Assuming the NFL is still what it is in say 50 years, when these who's after millennials?
I have no idea.
Gen Z.
Is it Gen Z?
Man,
when Gen
Z's and alphas and betas now.
And betas.
When either the Gen Z or the Gen Alphas are owning the NFL teams, that 425 will be at 420.
Well, there you go.
Because they don't care.
You ain't lying.
Like the video I saw, this one young lady who is Gen Z, and she got fired for not going to work on her birthday. And she's like, "It's my birthday. I shouldn't have to go to work."
You're right, but that's what PTO is for. You put in for that. You don't just not go to work. There's a process to this.
But she was just like, I shouldn't have to go in. It's my birthday. Well, that's why you got fired, because you didn't call in.
So I see the annual Bills Chiefs game is what is this, week 7 or 8? 2, 4, 6, week 8 at 4:25, November 2nd. Candaysee, we feel good about that. It's in Buffalo. No, sorry, it's in Kansas City this time.
I never feel good about it. I roll with the punches. It's a game. We gotta win.
Can they say how you feeling about that Falcons Bills game?
Oh Lord.
I'm just happy I'm gonna be able to watch my Bills play in the stadium.
That
but you
is
know,
a
I
7:15
realized.
start. Okay, so hold up. That Falcons Bills game, we're just looking at this. That is part of a double header on Monday night.
Yep,
I
it
just looked
starts
at the
at
start
7.
time.
Starts at 7:15. Mm-hmm. Yep. But if I miss the Falcons game, I can always go the next week to Carolina because it's close.
Yeah, that is a short drive.
So I'm gonna see how much the tickets are Carolina as well. But that's all I can say about the Bills. Our schedule is good and sound.
Well, that is first reaction to the NFL schedule. We will probably have more in-depth next month, considering we are still glazing over this in real time. We are a little long here, but big deal. This is the NFL talk. It always runs long.
Yo, Candaysee. I'm sorry, James. I'm looking at tickets for the Bills Falcons games. Club level, $1,500.
Oh, I know. I told you the level that I saw, $600, almost $700 in section 101. I don't even need club level. I don't like the club level when I'm trying to watch my game. I don't need all that.
In section 340, $235.
Yep. And that's before taxes and fees.
That's with your back to the wall.
Is there an OnlyFans channel for Black nerds? And you can get on there.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you, there's a channel for everything.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know, on that note, I'm gonna. You gotta leave. You can't sleep on that couch anymore. You got to go home.
Oh, no. You just gave me an idea.
I see the wheels turning. Listen. No judgment.
All the judgment. Trust me, you do not want the hamster wheel running in this man's head.
That's his business. You ain't gonna be saying that if he makes some money.
We're going to discuss this after.
Go on and type. Let people pay to watch you fix some IT stuff with your shoes off.
Big toe coding.
I can't.
My bad. Sorry.
I
was trying to be good. I was trying to help James wrap it up, but I had
this economy is rough. Sorry, James. Go ahead.
Goodness, I can't with you people. Anything of note to add before we get out of here?
Me. Real quick. I want to make some TV recommendations. If you guys really want a good laugh, please go to A&E and watch Stadium Lockup. That is the funniest. So it's at the Cleveland Browns football stadium. It goes through the football season. So they show the security, Cleveland Police Department. So most of the things they have to deal with is intoxication, pure fuckery, and hilarity. It is. New episodes come on tonight. So before you go to bed, if you want to try to catch it, it is. I just never knew all of the things they have to deal with. Like just people passing out, sexual harassment, people flashing people, drunk people outside the stadium. The game hasn't even started yet. So it's a good one. And then another good one is called Harlem Skaters, which is on Disney Plus. So it's a documentary about a figure skating team in Harlem. That was just really, 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 really good. And then the last thing, what did I want to talk about? Oh, Dick Vitale is cancer free. He just announced that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So prayers and love to him. I so enjoy him. He is like an icon, a national treasure. So he is cancer free.
Awesome.
Good.
That's good news. That is definitely good news.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know who that is.
If you have watched college basketball at any point in your life, you know who Dick Vitale is. And to that first show that you mentioned, I mean, they had to do something because like folks are going to the game to actually watch the Browns.
Not to say I don't get it. You're selfish, right? You're only thinking about your fan base. Those people are insane, die hard. Yeah, it's very entertaining. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm pretty sure because there was, what was it? I want to say mid 90s. I caught a show with former Eagle players from the 80s, talking about the craziness that would go on at the Vet. And true story, Veteran Stadium, Philadelphia, one of the worst surfaces to play on in that era of football, if not the worst, because it was legit carpet. And they had a court and a jail built under the stadium.
Yeah.
So if you got arrested during the game for drunk and disorderly, you were arraigned right there at the game. There was no throwing you in a paddy wagon, hauling you off to the local jail, and you had to wait till Monday. Like, nah, they take care of that right now.
Wait, so they had a judge down there too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So if you have never heard, so remember once upon a time, ESPN, remember Mike Greenberg?
Yeah.
Or, you know Mike Greenberg for ESPN used to do a show called Mike and Mike with Mike Golick.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Mike Golick played for the Philadelphia Eagles in the mid to late 80s. He has tons of stories about people getting arrested.
Wow.
At the game.
At the Cleveland Stadium, they call them detain rooms, but they put you in there and lock you the hell up. But real quick, I'm just tell you, one of my favorite episodes, I'm all for having a drink, but I'm like, you got to be drinking at the tailgate, and then you coming in. Y'all know how much them big ass alcoholic beverages are, how much they cost. People don't care. Hey, whatever. He's drunk. They telling him you got to leave, and he's like, nah, I'm not leaving. He almost passes out. They got to get the EMTs. He tells the EMT, I just want to let you know, if you try to make me leave, I'm going to fight you. The EMT is this little white guy, maybe 5'4". He goes, yeah, don't do that. I don't fight very well. I damn near lost my shit. I love an honest person. He was like, yeah, I don't fight well. So let me help you get some medical attention so that we can get you right. But most of the people, they are standing and dying on the hill of, I bought a ticket to this game. Yeah, but that's not the issue we have with you. You are drunk. One man, when it snowed at one of the games, he slipped and hit his head.
Oh, did it crack open?
No, he was sitting there like, I'm fine. Blood coming down his face.
Yeah.
Like, we need to take you to the hospital.
Yeah, he cracked his head. Mm-hmm.
I bought a ticket for the game.
So understand, I have seen someone fall and crack their head and blood spew out in real time.
Oh.
And them try to get, and again, they were drunk. This is a Dragon Con story when I worked security. This person, because you know how hard the marble floors are going into the ballrooms, right? You've seen that, Candaysee. You've seen it. This person was drunk, spun around in a pirouette, fell flat backwards, head hit. People were like, yo, are you okay? And the moment he lifted his head up, pool of blood. And they were like, whoa, you stay right here. I'm perfectly fine.
Nope, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
We can't let you move because we don't know how bad this is.
You bleeding from the head. Nothing about that is okay.
So
God bless those people. There's got to be better jobs. Ain't no way in hell.
Oh gosh. Candaysee, do you need a hug? Are you okay because of what happened to your Knicks?
Oh no, I'm good. Just time for Game 6.
Game 6 is in the garden. Just handle your business in the garden.
In the garden.
In the garden.
Go Knicks.
In the garden.
Just don't know if y'all gonna beat the Pacers.
Don't choose violence tonight when you're about to close out.
Oh my.
Ma'am, you chose violence early.
Just
Go and
saying.
tell me not to choose violence.
I'll just be over here where I'm safe.
Wow, really? Black it out your screen. Oh man. Any final parting words from anyone? None? We all good?
Everything has been said.
All right. Oh man.
I just want to say thank y'all for actually giving me an invitation to continue on with the show and not firing me.
One thing I
you
would
are
like to
stuck with
say
us.
is I want us to wish Dana a collective happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Happy birthday, Dana.
And Q, you are stuck with us. You can't quit us even if you want to. You
my
are
God, this
obligated
time.
to show up every single month.
Jesus, my Bell's palsy. This sounds like an abusive relationship. Must I stress everywhere?
Yes.
This show is stress relief.
Yes.
It is. I was excited to be able to join y'all tonight. Made sure my schedule was, and I will be here next month because I went ahead and cleared my schedule for next month's show as well.
Yeah, clear it for the Tuesday and Thursday around our usual time because I will be at the Wu-Tang concert next month. I got invited. Don't look at me sideways like that.
I think that we can handle it though.
Yeah.
I mean, if y'all want to do it without me, that's cool. I'll hand the keys to Furious.
There you go.
You wait, where was my invitation to the Wu-Tang concert?
Uh-oh.
I think that's another time off the podcast.
I mean, we can talk
about
offline,
those questions. Y'all are friends in real life.
I was invited by someone. They don't know you, sir.
Oh.
So
say good night, everybody.
Good night.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Network out for all the locals, school will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it we will. We will.